As the sheriff, I am angered at how these men were treated and how they died.
Right now, 9 people are charged, including the warden at Waupun Correctional Institution after a year-long investigation into deaths at the prison. Plus, how abandoned farmland could play a role in fighting climate change. Those stories and more just ahead on News 3 Now at 10.
They don't call their inmates, they call them persons within our care. The investigation that we have done has revealed that that phrase does not accurately depict what persons in our care should mean.
Strong words today from Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt announcing the warden of Waupun Correctional Institution and 8 others have been charged in connection to the deaths of 2 inmates. The charges come after the sheriff's office started investigating those deaths at the prison run by Warden Randall Hepp. He was booked into the Dodge County Jail this morning on a felony charge of misconduct in office for failing to perform a known duty. 8 others, either former DOC employees or those on unpaid administrative leave, have also been charged. Since June of last year, 4 inmates at Waupun Correctional have died. They are Dean Hoffman, Cameron Williams, Donald Mayer, and Tyshawn Lemons. But Sheriff Schmidt said the charges only stem from 2 of the inmates' deaths so far. One of those inmates died from a stroke after corrections officers ignored repeated medical incidents leading up to his death and didn't even realize he was dead in his cell for more than 12 hours. The other's death was ruled a homicide due to malnutrition and dehydration. The sheriff's office says he was left without food and water for days at a time. But as our Braden Ross found out, these stories aren't as uncommon as we'd like to think.
The man in charge of caring for inmates here at Waupun Correctional Facility now facing the possibility of becoming one himself. As accountability activists say, has been a long time coming.
As the sheriff, I am angered at how these men were treated and how they died.
9 now former Waupun Corrections employees booked into the Dodge County Jail Wednesday morning.
There must be accountability for the actions and inactions of state employees.
The Dodge County Sheriff laying out the actions and lack thereof that he says led to the deaths of 2 inmates at the prison.
He was dead in his cell for over 12 hours until they located him the next morning.
But what Dennis Franklin heard didn't surprise him.
I just want the community, I want the world to know that this has been a common practice in the Department of Corrections here in the state of Wisconsin, where healthcare has always been an issue.
He now serves as the interim associate director for Expo, or Ex-Incarcerated People Organizing of Wisconsin. He says he's heard horror stories from current and former Waupun inmates, particularly about the medical care there.
It's used more as a weapon than a service. Individuals are being told to just go back to your unit, or you're just writing up here just as an excuse to get out of your cell.
And it's not just that. He's seen the issues in our prisons firsthand.
It definitely brings me back to a time where I was serving time in Racine Correctional Institution.
That's why when I asked him how it felt to hear this news, all he had to say was this.
It's a long time coming.
All 9 people that were charged in this case, including the warden himself, have been let out on signature bond. For now, reporting in Waupun, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
And a reaction tonight from Governor Tony Evers in the wake of this news. The governor asking the Department of Corrections and federal investigators to continue looking into the prison. Governor Evers saying in part, quote, each and every person who's failed to do their job should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. It is that simple. The new DOC secretary, who was appointed just last month, supported the continued investigation, saying, quote, we have cooperated fully with Dodge County's investigation, and we will continue to do so. We send breaking news updates throughout the day through our Channel 3000 mobile app as we learn more about these charges at Waupun being filed. Download it for free so you never miss a story. A live look at this hour, the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Some showers earlier tonight. We may see some scattered showers on Thursday as well. Meteorologist Blaze Keller on the patio tonight. He has details in his First Warn forecast.
That's right, Eric. We are tracking that chance for maybe a few scattered showers, especially farther north and east as we look into your Thursday. For now, though, we are tracking the exit of some showers that kind of rode along really 94 there and then have now pushed into parts of Lake Michigan. If we take a look closer into Juneau and Adams County, that's where we are seeing more of that shower activity right now, maybe even a few flashes of lightning up there near near Preston, outside of Newchester. It looks like Camp Douglas. We should be drying out. This is along a really weak cold front that maybe will spark some showers farther south, but temperatures in the meantime are into the 60s. Not seeing any 70s out there, even a few upper 50s around, say, Watertown as well as in Black River Falls. Our dew points have dried out from the same time yesterday, so there's not as much moisture for these showers to use. We'll still keep that marginal risk for the rest of this evening. Strong winds and maybe some small hail possible with any of these thunderstorms should they become severe. And of course, we will let you know if they were to do so. But the showers end tonight. The three things you should know: breezy to end the week, comfortable weekend though. In the forecast, we're going to track out temperatures and when we'll start to feel more summer-like, and that's coming up later on in this half hour.
Blaze, thank you. Researchers say farmland is often a battleground in the fight against climate change. Solar panels and energy crops are pitted against food production if they can find plantable land to begin with. So researchers at UW-Madison went back to the drawing board to draw up a new map to help. Arman Rahman shares what they found.
Across the country, there's been about 30 million acres of farmland that's been cultivated but abandoned since the 1980s. Now researchers at UW-Madison know where they are and how they can be used to plant crops that combat climate change.
Next generation cellulosic-based biofuel feedstock, something like switchgrass.
Research scientist Tyler Lark hopes that this simple online map his team at the Great Lakes Bioenergy Research Center created can help identify more places to put plants like switchgrass.
And so these abandoned farmlands or formerly cropped lands could really possibly strike that sweet spot.
That sweet spot is somewhere that won't disrupt food production or the natural ecosystem for the climate change busting crop to shine.
So it can restore productivity, improve water quality, reduce the need for some fertilizers and pesticides, and even improve habitat.
It took Lark and his team a couple of years to use machine learning and satellite imagery to create the map.
So once we had an understanding of how land was used each year, we stacked all those images on top of each other and said, what was the pathway of that land use?
Before, counties would have to estimate roughly where abandoned land was and how much of it was there.
And now for the first time, we have that acre by acre picture where you can go down, and now you could actually go and visit those fields and see what are the restrictions there, what are the trade-offs.
Even though they were dealing with land that didn't actually go anywhere, some parts still shocked the team.
We were surprised to see that there's actually not a lot of overlap with these abandoned farmlands and formal conservation programs.
Now, Lark says the next step is to use socioeconomic factors to determine why the land in certain places was abandoned. Reporting in Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
A home in Marshall is a total loss tonight after a fire this morning. Fire investigators are now looking into how it started. According to Dane County Dispatch, that fire was called in about 8 a.m. at a mobile home park on Evergreen Drive. Several fire departments were sent to the scene. We were told 11,000 gallons of water was used to put the fire out. Luckily, no one was hurt. The Red Cross now helping those displaced homeowners. The Dane County Medical Examiner has identified the two people killed in a home explosion last week just outside Middleton. Rudolph and Ursula Niederhauser's bodies were discovered last Wednesday. Their home caught fire and exploded about an hour before midnight the night before. Their deaths remain under investigation. Both Rudolph and Ursula Niederhauser were 82 years old. The Reedsburg teenager accused of hitting and killing a child with his car will not face trial. According to court records, 18-year-old Kevin Green is agreeing to a joint recommendation between his attorneys and the prosecution. The specifics of the recommendations were not listed in those court filings. Green is charged with homicide by negligent operation after he allegedly hit 13-year-old Evelyn Gurney with his vehicle while she was getting on a school bus in May of last year. Green's sentencing hearing is scheduled for July 31st. 5 new crisis stabilization centers for adults have been opened by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. 2 of them are here in South Central Wisconsin, one in Madison, the other in Beaver Dam. Governor Tony Evers says these facilities are part of a larger movement to improve the treatment of those in mental health crisis. The patients will be sent to these centers by referral and through emergency hotlines. There, they will get treatment through counseling, group therapy, and medication. The Madison Police Department says it will send 85 of its officers to Milwaukee next month to help with security while that city hosts the Republican National Convention. Officers at the convention come from several specialized MPD teams. Members from the Special Events team and also the SWAT team will be there, as will mounted officers and motorcycle officers. Speaking with MPD Assistant Chief Matt Tye, he says recent events in Madison has prepped them for the convention, which takes place July 15th through the 18th. MPD says it does have 500 officers on staff, and sending 85 to Milwaukee that week will not impact policing in Madison.
we are comfortable with that number, that we can sustain our operations and provide community safety here in Madison with nothing that the public will not notice any difference in the policing model.
But in the event of civil unrest, both the Madison and Milwaukee police departments agreed for those 85 officers to return to Madison if needed. With the RNC just 40 days away now, officials unveiled the design of where former President Donald Trump is expected to formally accept the party's nomination. The renderings of the stage at Fiserv Forum were shared this afternoon as work begins to prepare the arena for the 4-day convention. We're told the stage will be 26 feet tall, 60 feet wide. It'll be partially suspended from the ceiling and partially mounted on the arena floor. 3 people were rescued from a boat that was stuck near the edge of a small dam in Chippewa Falls. The boat actually belonged to Chippewa Falls Fire and EMS. A witness says people on board had been fixing a buoy there on the dam. After nearly 2 hours of being stuck, they were able to get off and onto another flotation device and then were pulled to shore. Turning now to national news, a Georgia appeals court has halted the election interference case against former President Donald Trump and his co-defendants there. The move comes as a panel of judges weighs on whether Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis should be disqualified. It is the latest indication that a trial in the Georgia case will not occur before the 2024 presidential election. The appeals court is expected to rule on the disqualification issue by March of 2025. Though it could issue a ruling sooner. In New York, the man accused of randomly punching 2 people, including actor Steve Buscemi, has been charged with felony assault. He faces 1 count of second-degree assault and 2 counts of third-degree assault. This is the suspect right here, Clifton Williams. These attacks on Buscemi and a 22-year-old man took place last month, happening about 10 minutes apart. Williams has pleaded not guilty to those charges. TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and Home Goods have equipped some store employees with police-like body cameras. The store's parent company, TJX, says the measure is meant to thwart shoplifting and keep customers and employees safe. The company did not share its policies on when the cameras will be turned on, but the spokesperson said it only shares video if law enforcement requests it or in response to a subpoena. TJX isn't the only retail chain looking at body cams. About a third of U.S. retailers said they were researching body cameras for employees. That's according to a survey by the National Retail Federation last year. More local stories are still ahead at 10. An expo coming to Middleton on Friday reminds us that gaming is for everyone. How adaptive equipment is helping those with physical limitations find their community.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $200 at Walmart, over $300 at LensCrafters, and over $200 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird. With the best service, quality, and prices, Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. To help you remember, I made this cheer. V value. A, awesome value. L, lots of value. U, get 2 pairs of free eye exam and anti-glare lenses for only $79.
Here's to the farm and fleet dads, the ones who work hard and get the job done right, the ones who take pride in what they do and take the time to pass it on. This Father's Day, get your dad a gift he'll love, like all new Vibe drinkware and accessories, 30% off, 25% off men's Carhartt Force gear. This power tool storage rack is just $22.99. And get a free qualifying attachment when you buy this Milwaukee trimmer and blower kit.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Arby's understands if you need a steak knife to get into these supremely stacked burgers. But don't forget, teeth are just mouth knives. Arby's, we have the meat.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. Find yours with Ford F-150. Gas, hybrid, or all electric. Whether it's towing, powering up, or getting from 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, what you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150.
Now, get a built Ford Tough F-150 with 1.9% APR for 36 months, plus $500 retail bonus cash. See your Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Madison, a new era in golf has arrived. Introducing TPC Wisconsin, an elite golf club with worldwide privileges. Contact TPC Wisconsin today for your exclusive membership.
Why choose between that new deck you've been wanting and that vacation you've been dreaming about? Get both. A deck that outlasts wood 3 to 1 and up to a 7-day vacation on one of the top cruise lines or at one of our hundreds of resorts with no blackout date restrictions. Call now or visit the website for your new deck today.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, the lovely Shay Mitchell.
I created my perfect job, getting to travel the world and drink.
Plus, fill in the blank with Cher.
I feel the sexiest when I'm in love.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
After years of setbacks and delays, Boeing has successfully launched 2 NASA astronauts into space. This is the Starliner capsule lifting off from Kennedy Space Center with astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams on board. It was their 3rd attempt after the last 2 were scrubbed for safety concerns. Boeing designed and built Starliner, but it's years behind schedule, more than $1 billion over budget. The Starliner is on its way to the International Space Station, where the astronauts will spend a little more than a week. Back in Wisconsin, giving the gift of life isn't for everyone, but one couple is riding bikes across the Midwest to raise awareness for organ transplants. Today was the 2nd day of the ride for Mark and Lynn Scotch. They started up in Plover and arrived in Middleton this afternoon. They're fittingly calling their ride the Organ Trail, taking place over 3 weeks and covering 1,200 miles. Both Mark and Lynn are donors. With this year's ride honoring Lynn's donation journey, they decided to get involved in raising awareness after finding out how many people die waiting for a transplant.
And then when I learned that 13 people died every day, I decided to turn that into a bike ride, and we've been doing it ever since. So we've crisscrossed the country trying to create awareness and to demonstrate that you can donate a kidney and live a completely normal life afterwards.
Well, currently, there are nearly 100,000 Americans across the U.S. on the kidney transplant wait list. Around 3,000 more are added every day. If you'd like to learn more about the kidney donation process, visit kidney.org. When you hear about inclusive play, you might instinctively think about physical play, but inclusive play extends to the screen with video games, and that's the focus of the Adaptive Gaming Expo happening Friday from 1 to 6. It'll be at Madison Marriott West in Middleton. The expo will feature a gaming zone where people can try adaptive gaming equipment. Vendors will also be on site, as well as keynote speakers, including 2 professional gamers.
Gaming is inclusive, and we want to build that inclusion and build that sense of community with this event and bring more awareness that, hey, there's actually equipment out there to make gaming possible. And it isn't something that you have to do by yourself or have to do isolated. You can do it with other people.
The expo will be made possible by Access to Independence. That's a disability-led and run organization looking to bring more independence and support to people living with disabilities. Saturday is graduation for thousands of senior students here in Madison, and earlier today, those soon-to-be grads returned to their elementary schools where they once walked in full cap and gown. Students from Madison's Val Phillips Memorial and also from West High School visited Chavez and Midvale Elementaries, respectively, ahead of commencement. MMSD says doing this event serves 2 purposes. Of course, allowing the students to return to the buildings where they spent a lot of time during their formative years, but also inspiring and personalizing the education experience of the elementary school students, seeing them walk, knowing that one day that'll be them. And another walk is happening Saturday, one in support of breast cancer research and awareness. The Susan G. Komen More Than Pink Walk returns to Willow Island at the Alliant Energy Center. Now, one of the walkers Saturday will be Janet Ramsey, a longtime volunteer with the Komen Foundation who was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. This isn't her first fight either. She beat breast cancer once before in her 50s. On Saturday, survivors and thrivers like Janet will be honored ahead of the 1- and 2-mile walk Saturday morning at 9. And if you'd like to walk, there is still time to sign up. We've included a link to register on this story at channel3000.com. Meteorologist Blaze Keller back once again. He has a look at our first warn forecast.
All right, let's take a look at that forecast. We do have some showers moving through the area right now, especially off towards, say, parts of Juneau and Adams County, pushing into Ashara, as well as Green Lake and Marquette counties. Maybe some lightning here and there, but otherwise these are kind of garden variety thunderstorms if they are able to become that strong. They're all riding along a kind of weak cold front at this point, but this is what's forcing and trying to get this line to extend its way all the way from Juneau and Adams County all the way back into parts of northeastern Iowa. It's not doing a great job, especially farther south, where we'd expect more of that strength to be at this hour, but we're going to continue to watch this line. There is still a chance that maybe we squeeze out a stronger storm, some small hail, some wind gusts up to 50 miles miles per hour will be possible. And if that happens to be the case, we'll of course let you know. Take a look at how hot we got today. It didn't feel like we got into those 70s and 80s, and the reason was because, and it continues to be that way right now, we are drier than the same time yesterday. The atmosphere has dried up just a little bit, which is why that line of showers is kind of having a hard time really keeping itself together. And now we've cooled off into those upper 50s to low 60s in some spots, holding on to the mid 60s in the Madison area. And if we take it in closer to Dane County, we find 65 from Mount Horeb all the way into Verona, Madison, back north into Sun Prairie, 64 in Waunakee, 66 in Belleville. As I mentioned, we are slightly drier than the same time yesterday evening, and that's been the case throughout the day today. That's why even with that sunshine while it was around, it just felt so nice outside. And we're going to continue to stay underneath these comfortable conditions as we head further into your work week. A high pressure system is moving on in and slowly kicking out what we call a cutoff low pressure system. And that's the reason why we're going to be watching as these winds pick up. The high pressure system and that low, they're fighting for really dominance of the weather overhead. So when that happens, we do get these breezy conditions, and they're going to start to pick up here as we go further into your Thursday morning. But we quiet down really after midnight, waking up on Thursday, Future Track painting those breezy west-northwesterly conditions, and then we'll add back that chance for some scattered showers, especially the farther north and east you live. Farther south and west, we might get through tomorrow without seeing any showers because farther north and east, we're closer to the center of that low pressure system, which again, as I mentioned, is cut off. It's spinning slowly over parts of the Midwest. So other than that shower chance on Thursday, we then dry out as we go overnight. And then again, Friday, maybe a few clouds, but we should remain dry until we go into your Saturday. That's when we could see another shower or two, maybe even a few thunderstorms as well. And then we'll keep kind of that stray shower, scattered shower chance as we go into next week. So planning your day on Thursday, upper 60s to low 70s. Again, it is going to be breezy at times. Those winds could be gusting upwards of 25 to 30 miles per hour. What we don't have, and you're going to see here, is alert days. And that is some great news considering that compared to really the same time last year, from the start of the year through today's date, the National Weather Service in Milwaukee has issued nearly 8 times more tornado warnings this year than last year. So no alert days in that 7 and 10 day forecast. We're going to take it full screen for you as we continue to make our way into June. Temperatures climb back into those upper 70s to low 80s by Wednesday of next week.
And coming up in sports, Paris bound, which 2 former Badgers are heading to the Olympics and made history in the process. Find out next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, I'm Emmy Fink with Buzzed In Madison. We love the month of June because we get to celebrate the dairy industry and all of our great dairy farmers around this area. Join us all month. Blue Star Dairy, that's who we're going to see first, right here on WISC TV3.
I'm gonna take real good care of your windows.
You need the experts at Feldco.
Right now at Feldco, get 2 windows for the price of 1.
Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
All the best parts of summer are here at Summerfest. 600 artists, 12 stages, 3 unforgettable weekends. Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance. Find tickets, lineup, and more at summerfest.com.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life. Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just 1 visit. After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-357-3263 or go to sonobello.com.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
Dear sharp curves. Don't spin your wheels. With more all-wheel drive sedans than any other brand, you can bet your bottom dollar we're sharper than ever. 'Cause man, we got traction. Yours, Toyota Sedans.
Right now, you can lease a fun-to-drive new 2024 Corolla for $219 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Are you searching for a fresh career? Then join the team at Chalk D Building Systems. We're expanding, now with 2 Sun Prairie locations, and we're looking for individuals to join our team as assemblers, material handlers, order pickers, and machine operators. Chalk D Building Systems competitive pay starts at $22 per hour, plus comprehensive benefits. 3 shifts are available with overtime potential, and you'll become part of our 100% employee-owned team. Make your next career move on the careers page at chalkd.com.
Dana Retke and Lauren Carlini continue to make Wisconsin volleyball history even after their playing days at the UW Fieldhouse are over. The Badger duo are heading to Paris to represent not only their country, but the University of Wisconsin at the 2024 Olympic Games. Retke and Carlini become the first Badgers in program history to be named to Team USA's national volleyball roster. Well, we're just 2 days away from the AmFam Championship teeing off for the final time at University Ridge, and reigning champ Steve Stricker will get his first round going mid-morning. Strick will tee off on hole 1 at 10:50 with Ernie Els and Jim Furyk. 11 minutes before that group at 10:39, Jerry Kelly will hit the links as he tries for his 3rd AmFam Championship. He's paired with Justin Leonard and David Duvall. Jordan Love's been working on his craft outside of Green Bay's OTAs this offseason. Like last year, the Packers quarterback has been holding throwing sessions with his receivers in California. Romeo Dobbs, Jaden Reed, and Dontavian Wicks have already made the trip out for some reps and routes. Now, when you think of the offense as a whole, it's hard to name a clear #1 receiver. But that's quite all right with Love.
You don't have to have a #1 receiver. I think it works out well when you can spread the ball out and you got different guys making different plays and you can put them in different areas. I think it puts a lot more stress on the defense and the calls that they can get in. So I think in the long run it helps us in not having a #1 guy, a true #1 guy, but I think all those guys can step up and be the one, any given day.
Brewers wrapping up their series with the Phillies, and Game 3 was a lot like Game 1 and 2. No score in the 5th. Nick Castellanos sends a 2-run shot to left. He won it last night and would win it again today for Philly. Brew Crew scored just 2 runs in the series. They get swept for the first time all year. They fall 2-0 the final. And to the track we go for the NCAA Championships. Wisconsin's Adam Spencer punches his ticket to Friday's 1,500-meter final after a second-place finish in the semifinals. Spencer finished in 3:37.22. And then in the shot put, check this out. Jason Swarens uncorked a toss of 67 feet, 10.5 inches to earn him silver at the Outdoor Championships. His second-place throw was just 1.5 inches off first place. We're back after this.
There will be fireworks with
Sweeto Metal Roofing, you get quality metal roofs installed by the best in the business. A metal roof means no fading, no storm repairs, true sustainability, and lower energy bills.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Celebrate Memorial Day at Brothers Maine, where unbeatable appliance deals come with expert advice. Enjoy special prices and free delivery on top brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Hi, I'm Emmy Fink with Buzzed In Madison. We love the month of June because we get to celebrate the dairy industry and all of our great dairy farmers around this area. Join us all month. Blue Star Dairy, that's who we're going to see first, right here on WISC TV3.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
When you donate furniture, cabinets, and appliances to Habitat Restore, you make an impact on neighbors in your community. Profits generated from Restore sales help provide safe and secure housing for hardworking families across Dane County. Donate to make a difference today.
You want it, we got it, it's all here. Rosemont it. You want the night lights, the bright lights, I'll put you in the spotlight light. Yeah. You want style, well now I'll show you where you gotta be. Tell you what you gotta see. Ooh, it's gonna make you smile. You want it, we got it, it's all here. Rosemont.
Summertime fun is in full swing in Rosemont. From grand slams to hot jams. To Rosemont it your way, start at rosemont.com.
Rosemont.
Tom also lost $30 million in crypto. Tom, how did you fall for that? I mean, even Gronk was like, me know that not real money. Like,
you saw her take down the Forum at the greatest roast of all time, the roast of Tom Brady. Here comes Nikki Glazer, Alive and Unwell Tour. Saturday, September 14th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. She's alive and unwell. Don't miss Nikki Glazer.
How much was I paying a month for insulin?
$185.
$300.
$400. I never expected anyone to do something about it. But then Tammy Baldwin did.
She stood up to the drug companies and wrote a law capping the cost of insulin.
Thanks to Tammy, now it just costs $35 a month. She made a huge difference for so many of us.
She lifted the weight off all our shoulders.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Many window installers lack proper training. At Next Door & Window, we're reinventing window installation. Our installers are certified and trained to ensure your windows are sealed tight and energy efficient. Visit nextwindow.com to learn more.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer, only on News 3 Now.
And Blaze is back as we take one final check of the forecast.
And we're going to be kind of copying and pasting today's conditions into tomorrow, maybe slightly cooler, starting off sunny, and then as we go into the afternoon, we'll add back that chance for more cloud cover, breezier conditions, along with the chance for maybe some scattered showers, especially farther north and east, but we remain mild, upper 60s to low 70s through about the middle of next week.
When you say breezy tomorrow,
yes.
How breezy are we talking?
10 to 20, gust of 30.
Might be a little tricky in the golfers. They're good, but we'll see what that wind can do. Thanks for joining us, folks, for News 3 Now at 10. Have a great night.